What up, y'all? It's your boy Jamar.
And I'm Brianna.
And this is the Safe Word Podcast, Season 2.
And we're on Episode 2.
What?
So today, guys, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Because,
what we going to do?
Well, I'm going to tell y'all. Because we've been getting questions from you guys really since the beginning of this podcast, even before. And that question is, how did you guys meet?
Why y'all so nosy?
Because the people want to know. So we decided to take this opportunity, since it is Valentine's Day week, to talk about how we met. Because this is the week of love.
Amor.
Okay. Why do you have to make things weird?
I was trying to switch it up with a different language, but I couldn't remember, so I just said amor again.
Anyway, guys, it's the week of love, so we decided to grasp this opportunity and tell you guys how we met. So we're gonna give our sides of the story about how we met, and then we're gonna talk about basically how the relationship has progressed. If I sound a little nasally, don't mind me. I am recovering from allergies. It is allergy season. I'm not sick, hopefully, but
I don't know. The coronavirus is going around.
Don't play. That's not
seriously,
funny.
That's not funny.
It's not. Anyway, I took some Benadryl today and I took some Chloraseptic, so hopefully, it'll go away soon. But just bear with my little nasally voice today.
And a real testament of how much I love her is that I'm actually standing or sitting within 5 feet of her.
I'm not sick.
But you might be.
I'm not sick, guys.
But you could be.
I'm not. I've been dealing with allergies since I was like 4.
Anyway, I'm sure they don't want to hear us talk about our sicknesses and your illness and whatnot.
So I might be coughing. Don't get annoyed.
Right. So the safe word of the episode today is going to be teddy bear. What more appropriate safe word than teddy bear for Valentine's Day week?
Cheesy.
Just like me.
Valentine's Day.
And just like me.
Is Valentine's Day your favorite holiday?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. My favorite holiday, you should know my favorite holiday. It's Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Okay, so the first question, as she so eloquently put it, is going to be, how did we meet? And I'll let you go start it off.
Okay, well, how we met. So, technically, we met at Carnival. And I like to say technically because we didn't really speak to each other. And I personally feel like for you to meet somebody, you kind of have to, hi, I'm so-and-so, like exchange some type of conversation or words. But we didn't do that. We met at Carnival, and we were in the same band. I don't really want to explain it. Do you want to explain it?
The band or?
Yeah. I don't really know how to explain it well for people who don't know what that means and the whole concept of
Carnival.
We
were in the same group of Carnival masqueraders. People who are dressed up and they dance to the beat and they have a good time and they march on the road. Okay,
good enough. So yeah, we were in the same band / group, and we danced with each other one time, and that was pretty much it. That was it. I mean, like I said, we didn't exchange any type of contact information. We didn't have any type of conversation. So that was pretty much it. We just had one dance, like Drake said. One dance.
Like Barrett said, what one dance can do.
Wait, how does Drake's song go?
I need a one dance.
I need a one dance. Stop. My voice is beautiful. Anyway, so we just had one dance and that was pretty much it.
When she come back, she come back to the place. No man does no place. Just to get that taste. She love the vibration. She love the sensation. She's styling the room.
And then that was October of 2017. Fast forward February of 2018, we happened to see each other again at an event that we both went to. So I spotted him first, and I did my little trick that I know some girls, ladies, you know, when you're trying to get a guy to notice you, you kind of just put yourself out there, but like subtly, so they don't know it's obvious, but it's like, you know. So that's basically what I did. So I saw him standing by the bar, and I had a drink in my hand already, so it's not like I needed another one, but I scooted past him because I noticed that he was standing next to the bar of straws. So I scooted past him, and I made sure I was in front of him so he could see me, and I was like, excuse me, sorry, I'm just trying to get a straw. And then he was just like, he looked just like I wanted him to. My plan was working. And he he was like, oh, he's like, you don't have to be sorry. I recognize who you are. And I was like, really? Where? Talking about? Recognize me from where? And he was like, Carnival. And I was like, oh, yes. I was like, yes, how are you? You know, even though this whole time I knew exactly who he was.
Inside, she was like,
my plan is working.
excellent.
So, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, you know, have fun. And I walked my little tail upstairs. And then maybe like 20, 30 minutes later, my friends and I were taking selfies in the little corner that we were standing in. So he ended up coming over, and because, you know, he obviously was feeling a girl and he was watching me. So he came over, saw me taking selfies, and basically got my contact information from there. So that's how we met.
Mm-hmm. Well, small correction.
Oh,
I gave you my contact information.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes, he gave me his for me to text him.
Set the record straight. Okay,
yeah.
Set the record straight.
I didn't like that, but you know, I let it slide.
Well, what's the point of, if I know that I'm interested, but I'm not quite sure if you're interested, why am I going to ask you for your number and you give me the number to Publix?
True.
Okay.
That was fun.
Anyway, so rewind. All right, here's how it went down in my eyes. All right. First of all, we're not even going to talk about the mission that it took me to get to Carnival, which is also why I believe that our coupling, so to speak, our relationship is meant to be and fated, because it took me so many hoops to jump through in order for me to get to Carnival on that Sunday. I was all the way on the other side of Florida. I was in Fort Myers, Naples area. I had no costume. That's the big thing. I had no costume. I had no ticket. I had nothing. And I didn't even drive my own damn car. So I was stranded. Anyway, fast forward. We made a way. My guys and I, the crew that goes to Carnival, and we got it popping. We're in the group, and I see this girl, and I'm like, this one right here. I'm like, oh, wow. You know, she's beautiful. And it doesn't hurt that in Carnival costumes, you're pretty much half naked. So it leaves very little to the imagination. And I just saw, you know, just a beautiful girl who was having a good time and enjoying herself. And at Carnival, those of you who have not seen, I believe it's episode 2, when we talk about Carnival, and I'll fly. It's season 1, and I'll send the link so you guys can take a look at it up in the display in the top right corner, because we can do that now. But in our episode, we talked about the effects of dancing in Carnival, because really, at the end of the day, Carnival is super harmless. You go and you dance, and if you choose to try to pursue somebody, that's fine, but that's not what everybody's there for. You know, they're there to dance, have a good time, and keep it moving.
One dance like Drake.
One dance and keep it moving. And I was not going to be that guy that finds her and then follows her like a freaking leper, trying to like get her number and come here, girl. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Holla.
Oh no.
So I got the one dance and I kept it moving. And I somehow through Instagram, through the magic of social media, I found her Instagram and we started following each other. Liking a pic here and there, but we kept it real casual.
Not here and there. He was liking all of my pics, okay?
Don't play yourself.
He was liking all of my pics.
I did not like all your pics.
I was liking all of his too. We were liking all
that. I did not. You made it seem like I just went like down the list.
No, as soon as we started following each other, every time we would post, we would like each other's pics.
Oh yeah, sure.
Not but here and there.
When I say here and there,
don't be watering it down.
You didn't post every day, so it's not like I'm liking your pic every day.
You was liking all of my pics.
Okay, this is a point of who cares? Moving on. So there's an event that happened that one of my frat brothers was hosting, and I honestly was not even trying to go there. So that's number two. Number one, I wasn't able to go and I made a way. Number two, I wasn't trying to go and I wanted to go anyway to show love and show support. Little did I know that she was going to be there. Once I saw her there, I didn't know obviously that she had that little pre-planned idea to get my attention. But once I saw her there, subtle, you know, you girls are sneaky. I'll give you that. You girls are very sneaky with it. But I went ahead and I had the DJ play my song X-Rated from the album that I just dropped last year, Chameleon. Celebrated 1 year last month. But anyway, we had that song playing and I was recording myself, you know, catching the vibe, and I saw her doing her thing over there. So I went ahead and I recorded her as well, and I asked to go ahead and put my number in her phone, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. It was all uphill from there, not downhill. Uphill. Because you know how they say it's all downhill from there, but it wasn't downhill because it's not a descent.
Yeah, but uphill suggests that it's a challenge that you're climbing uphill. It was smooth sailing from there. It was semi-smooth sailing from there. How about that?
Okay.
Anyway, that leads us to the next part.
Yeah, that was basically, you know, how we met. That's our story. That's our love story.
Mm-hmm.
So now...
Well, if I could just add one thing, babe.
What?
I know this is you've been looking forward to this episode, but I'm going to just say that in the very beginning of our courtship, we were like from the minute that we exchanged numbers, we even to this day, we never went a day without speaking and like copiously texting each other and talking for hours, you know what I mean? And that's something that I really love about this relationship, that it never feels as though, damn, I don't want to talk to you. It's been like a whole 2 years. Why are we able to talk every single day? Like, it's never felt like that. And even from the beginning, you could tell that our relationship felt different than my past relationships. And I think I can speak the same for your past relationships. Okay. What were you going to say?
Very nice.
I just love her so much.
Shut up. So now we are going to talk about basically the progression of the relationship. And since I started, you could start for this one.
Okay. I mean, you know what? You can definitely help fill in some of the blanks and we'll work together on this one. I feel as though we both have a pretty even idea or equal idea of how things went down from there. So we had our first date, which is what she likes to call our first hangout, because it wasn't necessarily a sit-down date.
You didn't technically ask me out on a date. So.
I definitely asked you out on a date. But anyway, I said, you know, would you want to go out for some drinks?
That's
you
not
know?
a date. Moving on.
Anyway, our first date, we went out and, you know, I wanted to let her know from there, like, you know, I'm a little older than I was, you know, I wasn't in my early 20s anymore, and I wasn't looking for something that was casual. And I wanted to just honestly just put it out there. Like, I wasn't trying to marry her the next day, but I wasn't trying to just, you know, date for a week and then keep it moving. I was looking for something long term. And I thought it was important that I just let that be known from the very beginning. And luckily, she was also looking for the same thing. So from the first date all the way to, I would say, what would you say, babe? The first 6 months?
For what?
For just the progression of our relationship in terms of like how we've just we're going up, like in learning each other and growing.
Yeah.
Before we had our first like
5 months.
So we were
like closer to 6.
We were dating for 5-6 months before we really had any hiccups. And anybody that knows me knows that I don't believe in a relationship that has not been tested, and I don't believe in relationships that you know, the people are like, well, we've never had a fight in our life, because I don't feel like that's genuine. I don't feel like you're being real to your partner if you've never seen their bad side. So we've had moments where we've had disagreements, and we had moments that we've you know, been mad at each other and things like that. But the most important thing is that we've never argued about something that was important. We never argued about something that was a morally defining value. And
Yeah.
I think that's not something that we take for granted, you know. And I don't know if you want to add anything to that more in terms of how you feel things have gone.
I mean, yeah, I agree with everything you said. We haven't fought about anything that was really fundamental, which I'm really appreciative of. Like, can you imagine fighting with your partner about like religion or something? Like, be like, listen, you gotta go, okay? You ain't the one. But yeah, our little hiccups and stuff were really over things that are small and things that we could grow from. You know, we could fix, or we could, you know, learn from each other. So that I'm really appreciative of. I feel like personally I've grown a lot, probably the most in this relationship, and it also might have something to do with like where I am in life right now. Like I'm in my early to mid 20s, and I just feel like your 20s is a growth era, like a super growth era. You're learning about yourself, you're figuring out what you want to do in life, and there's a lot of character development. And I feel like this relationship, I've had a lot of character development within myself, and I'm grateful for that, because, you know, how can you really get anywhere if you don't grow? If you're just stagnant, you're never going to get anywhere. So I feel like throughout the progression of this relationship, I've been learning more about myself and also more about my partner, and learning what works for us. Because, you know, you could take advice from other people, but at the end of the day, your relationship is different from everybody else's, and what works for you might not work for somebody else. So I feel like during the progression, I've definitely learned a lot, and I'm excited to keep on learning, because I know there's a lot more to learn. I mean, we'll be pushing 2 years. Well, we will be 2 years in a few weeks. So this is season 2, episode 2, and we're about to be 2 years. 222.
Yeah, that was a
anyway. But yeah, so I'm excited to keep on learning and keep on growing, and just do life with this man. I love this man.
This man. Yeah, I mean, I know you see us gushing over each other, and you guys are probably, you know,
we're not like this all the time,
looking for your vomit bag right now. But it's a Valentine's Day episode, so we gotta keep it, you know, lovey-dovey. And just to, this is probably something that we're gonna end up tackling in a future episode, but we want to just reiterate the fact that when you really love, well, at the time we were getting to love each other, but when you really love somebody and you really love your partner, and you choose them every single day, there's gonna be some challenges that come up against both of you guys. And I think one of the things that we have learned to adapt, one of the principles, is that it's never Jamar versus Brianna. It's always Jamar and Brianna versus the problem. And the problem, 9 out of 10 times back in the day, was the fact that we were set in our ways. You know, if you're not in a relationship with somebody for a long time, when you get to know them, you realize that there's certain things that you're used to that person's not used to, and vice versa. So a lot of the little things that we would have in terms of growing pains would be just things that we were already used to doing. You know, I know for me, it was a while since I had, you know, a girlfriend to think of. And for her, she had been in her own space for a while, so she was doing her own thing. And we were both set in our ways. You know, there were certain things that I had to grow in and understand that, yeah, that's what I'm used to now, but the person who I want to be with is not used to that and doesn't care for that. So I need to adjust myself in order for me to grow in this relationship. And I think that's the number one thing that I could give you in terms of any type of advice, is that understand that you're coming into a relationship and you're having to adjust yourself in a way that best suits your relationship. And sometimes you're set in a way that best suits yourself. But if you wanted to stay like that, then you would be single. You wouldn't need anybody else.
Right.
If you want to grow and become a better person and become a better partner, then you need to figure out what it is that, you know, that you guys can work together on to make your relationship even stronger than ever.
Agreed. Well said.
Well, thank you, babe.
Good job.
Thank you.
So that is pretty much it, right?
I believe so. I mean, like I said, I don't want to get too deep into...
We didn't even use the safe word.
Dang, we didn't. That's okay. That's okay.
Well, y'all can use it if you have any comments.
Mm-hmm.
Just use teddy bear. TEDDYBEAR. Teddy bear.
Okay, Akila.
I knew you were going to say that.
Okay. I got you.
Anyway,
Well, we may not have used teddy bear, but you're always gonna be my teddy bear.
oh my gosh. Okay, so with that, we're gonna wrap up this episode. Get out of here. We're gonna wrap up this episode. Let us know what you thought. Let us know if you liked our stories. Which story did you like better, mine or his?
There goes that competition. And most importantly, understand that's just a smidgen of the actual story of Jamar and Brianna. Like
we gave you a condensed version.
Yeah, we give you like a microscopically condensed version. You know, you can't relegate our stories to just, you know, one episode. And plus we don't want to go ahead and give out all the juicy. You know, we keep that between ourselves, you know? And our children and grandchildren, things like that, so they can see back when, you know, their parents were listening to X-rated. That's when.
Oh my gosh!
Can you imagine? That's like us saying that when in 50 years when Nicki Minaj's song comes on, and we're like, oh, that was a jam. You don't know
what y'all know about
that? Anyway, I think that's it.
That is it for us, guys.
Make sure you guys comment your thoughts on the story. Make sure you comment your thoughts on we want to know how you guys first met your partner, and did that person woo you? Were you the wooer? You know, are you guys past the initial challenges? Are you still going through certain rocky phases? If you'd rather keep that anonymous, just, you know, comment anonymously. YouTube can let you do that. You can also email some of your stories to us at thesafewordpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time.
Bye. Love each other.